Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Christine Pitawanich. Right now, dozens of protesters representing Free Palestine Eugene are blocking southbound lanes of Interstate 5 near the intersection with I-105. That's between Eugene and Springfield. This started just around 10:30 this morning. The protest was blocking all lanes, but ODOT says one lane is now open. Our sister station in Eugene says police have arrested several protesters at this point. We'll bring you more updates as we get them. Now to Southeast Portland's Hazelwood neighborhood, where a man is now facing multiple charges, including second-degree murder. The suspect, investigators say, is 31-year-old Demaria Harris, who is in the Clark County jail waiting to be extradited to Multnomah County. Police say 2 weeks ago they found 35-year-old Mario Camel Harris dead with a gunshot wound near Southeast 99th Avenue and Stark Street. There was also another person found with life-threatening injuries. And in Clark County, 4 sheriff's deputies are now on administrative leave for shooting and killing a carjacking suspect. Investigators say on Saturday, a man and a woman carjacked a van in Hazeldale, then took off. Shortly after, suspicious activity was reported near the Goodwill in Salmon Creek. Sheriff's deputies say they found the stolen van parked close by, behind the American Legion on Northeast 20th Avenue. That's where a shootout happened inside while people were playing bingo. Deputies shot and killed the man and nearby arrested a woman they believe was involved. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says it'll release body cam footage once the investigation is complete. Later today, Portland city leaders will be holding a final public listening session on the budget. Creating the budget is not going to be easy, with city officials staring at a $20 million deficit. During a listening session on Saturday, people spoke out on how the city should allocate the money. Sydney Dorner has the details.
Each year, the city of Portland is tasked with the tough goal of proposing a budget that meets the needs of the community. Mayor Ted Wheeler says for fiscal year 2024-2025, money is tight.
The city's fiscal environment is certainly more constrained than we've experienced in recent years, with the financial forecast indicating no new ongoing or additional one-time funding available for fiscal year 24-25.
To gather input on the budget, the city is hosting 3 public listening sessions this month. The first concern brought up at Saturday's session was the $11 million budget deficit facing the Portland Fire Bureau. The city is considering cutting 8 to 10 frontline workers, closing a neighborhood fire station, and maintaining current staffing levels without new equipment.
The fact that our population goes up, the need for services are growing up, firefighters in the city of Portland, we're staying the same, and we're not asking for more. We're only asking to maintain our ability to protect lives and property. That's what we're asking for, not more, just maintain.
Another issue plaguing the city is gun violence. Advocate Lucy Mache lost her son in 2011 after he was shot in the back 4 times. Now she runs You Are Not Alone, which is a healing support group for survivors of tragic loss.
It's like a part of me is gone. I don't want anyone to have to feel that.
Mache, alongside other gun violence advocates, are asking the city to allocate more funds for grassroots organizations focusing on the Black and Brown community. Asianique Savage grew up in North Portland. She lost her mother at 5 to gun violence, and her younger brother was shot and killed at a Southeast Portland bar. Now she works as a prevention manager at the Oregon Alliance for Gun Safety, pleading with the city to see the importance of reaching youth before they find firearms.
The mayor declared gun violence as a crisis in 2019, and it's still a crisis currently. No matter how much the rates drop, we are still losing people that we know in real time, in current time.
That was Sydney Dorner reporting. Portlanders can give testimony or join today's meeting virtually. It starts at 6:30. The mayor will release proposed budget decisions on May 3rd. Well, federal help is on the way to help with recovery efforts associated with January's snow and ice storms. Over the weekend, President Biden approved Oregon Governor Tina Kotek's disaster declaration request. That means federal money will now be available to state, local, and tribal governments. Nonprofits will also be able to access the money to help repair and replace facilities that were damaged during January's winter storms. Rod, it feels like that happened so long ago, especially with the weather we're having now.
You know, and that freezing rain, just a reminder how much damage it does. It's the ice collecting on objects that brings them down, trees into power lines, trees into people's property, and yeah, good to know that relief is on the way. We have not a bad day out there. I'm surprised personally how many scattered showers keep piling in, and you can see them just coming in on this northwesterly flow pattern. So don't be surprised if we find a raindrop out there this afternoon. We've had scattered showers really since shortly after sunrise this morning. There are sun breaks out there. There's not much wind here in the valley, and overall it's a comfortable but cooler day. Most of our cameras, one moment they show sun, the next they show clouds. Here's your Quinta Bay down in Newport, showing clouds and in fact some showers down there in Lincoln County. 54 degrees. You can see some showers, or at least Virgo looks like, out in parts of the gorge. That's Elk Ridge Golf Course out in Carson, looking back at the mountains on the Oregon side, and some breaks with the clouds over downtown. We're at 54, right where I thought we'd be at noon. So with a shower chance continuing and sun breaks, we're on track to get up to about 60 degrees. Maybe we are not finished with freezing temperatures yet for the season. We'll talk about that. There's a reason I'm talking about it, of course. That's coming up in my complete forecast.
Okay, thank you, Rod. Portland officers were pretty busy over the weekend, cracking down on street takeovers. They made several arrests and seized multiple cars as well as guns. KGW's Alma McCarty spoke to a man who says he got in trouble with police, but he insists he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
On a sunny Sunday afternoon in Northeast Portland, Ronald Davis can be found out in the driveway.
I'm infatuated with cars. I work on cars, and that's what I've always done.
A passion going back years.
I'm a hands-on person, and I've learned. First motor I rebuilt, I was 14 years old.
But this car enthusiast says he wasn't the least bit interested in joining in an illegal street takeover 1 block away on Northeast 102nd and Gleason. Neighbors say the large crowd began gathering just before midnight Saturday. And it was around that time Davis decided to fuel up.
Came back, the street racers had my road blocked, and one of the guys had cursed at me and said he would shoot at me and threatened me with a gun.
Officers cracked down on this and other takeover events this weekend. On Friday, Portland police say at least one person was arrested and a dozen vehicles towed following a takeover on Swan Island. During the next night's mission, North Precinct officers threw spike strips into the road, seizing cars and guns and making several arrests relating to street takeovers, speed racing, and reckless driving. Davis, trying to get back home, says he got swept up in the chaos.
Well, I got scared and took off. Well, my car burned out a little bit, and then I got down to like 116th and Gleason, and then all of a sudden my tires are popped and they're throwing spike strips out at me.
He's now facing a reckless driving charge, singled out, he believes, due to the kind of car.
It's a 2017 Challenger RT Scat Pack. I understand what's going on, but you shouldn't judge people because of that. I mean, my car, I wasn't doing nothing. You didn't see me out there burning out like that. And I get my car towed, impounded, now it's like $700, and I got a big fat ticket.
While he's all for taking down takeovers and getting dangerous drivers off the road, he hopes investigators will consider the bystanders in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So you ain't allowed to have a nice car and enjoy your life with what you want, and because you drive a car, so I'm supposed to drive a grandma car, I guess.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.